Welcome to the feast, YouTube. Dynasty Deep Dive is here. Dynasty Deep Dive is here, and we got some good changes, y'all. They listened. They listened to the community and gave us what we wanted. It's probably not gonna be perfect, but I don't know anything that really is. Let's lock in. Real coaches are in the game. I see Ryan Day's here. Marcus Freeman. So you can build your coach, or you can build a coach like a Marcus Freeman, Ryan Day, etc., Kirby Smart, etc., or you can create your coach. I will be creating a coach in my online dynasty. That's one of the rules from online dynasty. You have to create a coach. They do have new styles. Look like they got quite a few new styles you can put on the coach. My coach will not be looking like that. Probably go with the hoodie or something. I don't know. It just depends. Might switch it up here and there. Coach demeanor and stance. So it's intense demeanor, stance, hands on knees. Oh, that's tough. So it's more. So it's a lot of customizations with the coaches too. From what I've heard and what I've seen so far, college football 26 will be the most customizable game ever, as far as sports games. So let's see. Let's look. No huddle style, aggressive. Stance, hands on knees, demeanor, intense, pipeline. Okay. Coach progression. Your coach in college football 26, the maximum coach level has been increased from 50 to 100. That's dope. That's a major dub. Hated getting that 50 cap and then not being able to progress any further. It just seemed like it just was whack. There was more I wanted to do, more archetypes and abilities I wanted to put on my coach, and I couldn't do it. Progression is heavily influenced by your active archetypes perk, and we rebalance all archetype perks to improve overall balance and create more distinct trade-offs. The three archetypes, recruiter, motivator, and tactician, are now back. Tactician now offers the highest XP ceiling, but if you're consistently winning. It also carries the greatest downside if you're not. Conversely, motivator and recruiter will provide more consistent gain, but a lower ceiling and maximum upside. Okay, so you got to really play around with it and see how that works. See, what's this? New coach abilities. Scaling archetype costs. I know you have to be level 10 to unlock certain ones. Yeah, it's a lot. So I'm trying to see if I can get some of the better stuff that they're talking about. Talent developer. I don't remember that being in last year's game in Dynasty mode. So that's something new. Maybe it was. Or maybe it was called something different. I'm not sure. Coach Carousel, you'll now get notifications when one of your coordinators takes another job or goes to the NFL, which I think is a major dub. Especially if you got a good coordinator, you kind of want to know if you need to replace him and how to replace him. Former Forever Home, your coordinators are less likely to leave for another job. Deal sweetener. Coordinators are more likely to accept your job offer. Cream of the crop increases the caliber of coordinators available for you to hire. I'm assuming those are some program builder abilities. Yeah. So these are program builder abilities right here. Forever Home, Deal Sweetener, and Cream of the Crop. And these are what they do right here. So basically they're under program builder. Okay, cool. The staff move screen, you can now view each coach's previous role in school, their new role and destination, and the reason for the job change. Whether they were promoted, fired, or simply found a better fit. You'll have more context for every coaching movement. I like that a lot. Like Dabo Swinney went to Alabama in this. That's crazy. That would be crazy. It's even crazy to see him in the little Dabo Swinney in Alabama gear. But he was hired by another team. I like that though. I like that you can see what's going on more, and they got the actual icons of the teams for the coach for staff moves. Billing out your trophy room. Trophy room is back, y'all. Let's go. Welcome to the feast. Let's go. And it has Dynasty Mode, Road to Glory, Road to College Football Playoffs, and Rivalries. So it's going to be real specific. You got a history of so if you win national championships in Dynasty Mode or Heisman's in Dynasty Mode, Road to Glory Mode got those trophies in there too. And the online Road to College Football Playoffs and rivalry games. So it's every kind of trophy from every different mode. That is a major, major dub. Trophy room is something that, you can look back on, brag about all your accomplishments, which I like a lot. Let me see what else. The transfer portal. You'll see a consistent pool of around 2,000 players entering the portal. For example, an 85 overall freshman quarterback will be scored higher than the 85 overall senior guard. Okay. Now star rating is more heavily influenced by a player's position and class year. For example, 85 overall freshman quarterback will score higher than the 85 overall senior guard. That makes sense because you'll have the freshman longer, and quarterback, it's a more important position than guard. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. They got this transfer board more simplified, and you can see all your prospect. You can see your team needs up top, what you have when you're right there on the transfer portal. But they got Jeremiah Smith transferring. No, I had Ohio State in one league and he transferred. I was so hurt. I was hurt. But it happens though. It's part of the game. Deal breakers. At the heart of the transfer portal is a simple truth. Every player has expectations, and when those expectations are met, they may decide to leave. They had that last year. Probably did some revamping to it. In college football 26, that same logic now applies. 5-star prospect, highly rated players, and quarterbacks will evaluate playing time, even if it isn't listed deal breaker. So basically, you can't just have a bunch of. I know guys that had like 10 quarterbacks on their teams. Hank. But anyways, my friend Hank, he would have like 10 quarterbacks on his team, all decent, all 85 or above. So now this will prevent that, like, because everybody's going to wonder about playing time, even if it's not one of their deal breakers. I like that a lot. There's also now redshirting comes with the risk. Do you want to redshirt a player and limit his playing time at the risk of him leaving in the offseason due to lack of playing time? So now you can't just, you could really redshirt on college football 25. You could really redshirt anybody and they wouldn't really leave. They would stay around no matter what. So I like that. Some players want to play immediately, and if you redshirt them now, they might leave because of lack of playing time. I like that. In college football 25, all deal breakers had a fixed grade requirement of B-, and that threshold never changed regardless of how good a player was. In college football 26, we now have dynamic deal breakers, a system that actively reflects a player's evolving and changing expectations over time. As players become more talented and productive, the expectations grow alongside them. So basically, if a player is a freshman, 75 overall, then by junior year, he's an 88 or 90, his expectations and deal breakers will go up. So he will want more playing time. He might want better facilities. He might want, more brand exposure. So that's something to keep in mind as you grow your players, man, especially for smaller schools. With the rising profile he expected. Hold on. We saw the most recently with Tennessee's quarterback, who was a freshman, led the team to college football playoffs in a breakout season. As he grew into a bigger name in the sport, so did his expectations. That's talking about Nico, particularly around his brand deal breaker, which increased significantly the following year. With his rising profile, he expected more, especially in NIL space. Tennessee ultimately chose not to meet those expectations, and he decided to transfer to UCLA as a result. This is just so Nico's move even affected the game, which is crazy. That was such a crazy move. This is just one of many stories we've seen in today's college football landscape where players' priorities evolve naturally over time. It makes sense, though. You play better, you want more. I get it. And decisions, I think he was asking for a little much. Let me clarify. I think Nico was asking for way too much. Just my personal opinion. I'm not here deciding what people do with their lives. And this, naturally, over time, the decisions to enter the transfer portal stem from what more than just playing time or fit. College football 26 now reflects this behavior, creating a world that feels organic, reactive, and alive. So basically, they're trying to make it more realistic. Like I said, if a player starts doing really good and his ratings go up, he has a breakout year, becomes an All-American, or wins the Heisman, he's going to want more playing time. He's probably going to want more brand exposure. It just depends on the player and I guess the archetype and what that player is interested in. That's something to keep an eye on. That's something to keep an eye on for sure. How you build your coaching staff can significantly impact your ability to manage evolving player expectations and retain your roster. So basically, that's going to help. You're going to be certain coach bills that help with the transfer portal. That makes sense. If players do decide to leave, abilities with the program builder archetype can help. Gift of gab, roster retainer, full refund. So basically, Gift the gab additional persuasion attempts, which I like that. Roster, like, at the end of each year, you can try to persuade your players to stay. You'll have an additional persuasion attempts, which I like that a lot. Because there'll be players you want to leave, or you might have 10 players leaving and only 5 persuasion attempts. So you only can try to persuade 5 players. You have to kind of pick and choose. And some people might say no, you wasted a persuasion. So I like that. Increased chance of persuading a player to stay. So it looks, from what I've seen so far, program builder might not be a bad idea. Everybody did recruiter last year. Program builder, man, might be something to think about. I know recruiter, tactician, and motivator, but I'm saying, like, within the actual coaching abilities, you can boost up program builder. I think a program builder might be the move. And a full refund. Get an additional persuasion attempt if one of your attempts is successful. That's tough. So basically, if you attempt to persuade someone and they decide to stay, you get an additional attempt so you can try to persuade someone else. Tough. Need that. Transfer portal customization with dynamic deal breakers, the addition of conference prestige deal breaker, and improved playing time logic. The College Football 26 transfer portal is more reactive and unpredictable. While this brings the chaos of modern college football to life, we also want you to have the tools to customize that experience and make it your own. Whether you want a wild modern era portal or a throwback to the days when transferring was far from less common, you now have full control over how the portal behaves in your dynasty. Max transfer per team. You can adjust how many players can transfer from a single team. 0 to 30. Setting this to 0 disables the portal entirely for a more traditional experience. Transfer probability user teams. Scale how likely players on user-controlled teams are to transfer if their deal breaker is violated. Transfer probability. CPU teams. Do the same for CPU teams, allowing you to align your differentiate. I always say that more messed up. Forgive me, y'all. How the AI handles player retention. My school. Let me see. So basically from this, you can literally set it to old days to where nobody transfers, and you just got to kind of, people would transfer, but you had to sit out a year. So it'd be more like the old days, I should say. And you can set it to 0 where nobody really transfers, and you can even put up the probability to probability of people transferring from user teams, probability of people transferring from computer teams. So I'll probably, in my online dynasty, this is just my suggestion, I'll probably put up a little bit higher for the CPU teams for players to transfer, and I'll probably leave it at default for user teams. It's just a thought. I run the online dynasty on Facebook. Check me out, Eat More Gaming. I run the online dynasty. I know a lot of you guys come over here from Facebook to check me out, which I appreciate. But we are full as of now. But if you want to get involved in it, leave a comment below or shoot me a DM on Facebook at Eat More Gaming. Mr. Welcome to the Feast. If you know, you know. Let's see, it's more recruiting. It's more simplified recruiting board. You can see, like, right here, top three, interest second. Like, they had some of this stuff on here, but they didn't have, like, I don't think they had top 3, maybe not. And then it shows if you're in a big recruiting battle with someone. You see that right here, recruiting battle. You are in a battle for this recruit. So highly touted recruits you're in a battle for. You got a big recruiting battle thing. I like that. Give it a little, you know what I'm saying? A little, Ohio State. Oh, he flipped from Ohio State to nobody. But he flipped from Oregon to Ohio State. I'm a Ohio State fan, so I say it like that. But anyways, location-based recruiting. This is huge. It's easier and cheaper to get a player to campus when they live nearby. Driving 100 miles is a very different challenge than flying across the country. And in College Football 26, we replicated that reality through location-based recruiting. The cost of a visit is now tied directly to how close a recruit is to your campus, making geography a meaningful factor in your weekly recruiting strategy. The higher a recruit's proximity to home grade with your school, the cheaper it will be. Basically, if you're in Ohio and you're recruiting somebody in Ohio or the Midwest, it'd be cheaper to schedule them for a campus visit than it would be to schedule somebody who lives in California or Hawaii, because it's much farther. You have to fly them in, buy their plane tickets, all the above. So it's much cheaper to fly someone in that's closer. Or if you're in Texas, if you're recruiting in the Texas area or the southern region, it's much cheaper than if you're flying somebody in from New York. So it makes sense. The cost can range from 10 recruiting hours for nearby players to as high as 40 hours for cross-country visits. Makes sense, 100%. Scouting is a critical part of identifying which players fit your program and which recruits you want to go after. Coaches often refer to this as finding their OKGs, our kind of guys. In College Football 26, we've made 2 key improvements to the scouting system to make it easier and more impactful as you build your recruiting board. First, we've reordered how attributes are displayed during scouting, ensuring that shared ratings across archetypes appear in a consistent order for every position. In College Football 25, this often made comparing prospects at the same position frustrating, especially when the same ratings would appear in different spots depending on the archetype. So basically, if a quarterback's a scrambler archetype, they're going to be more like a scrambler, like have speed, throwing a run. If they're a field general, they're going to have more passing. And there's a bunch of more archetypes in here. I'm just giving you a few examples. They're going to be more like, medium throw accuracy, short throw accuracy, deep throw accuracy, et cetera, et cetera. Second, we've expanded the power of the mind reader ability with the strategist archetype. Previously, mind reader only, so they do have no archetypes. See, like I just said, yeah. Now, if you possess mind reader for recruits position group, you'll be able to reveal their dev trait directly through scouting. Dang, that's tough. So, like, the developmental trait, when you scout them, you'll automatically pop up if you have the mind reader archetype. If you have the mind reader, is it the dev trait? Yeah, the mind reader archetype. That's tough. Mind reader ability archetype, whatever you want to call it. So as a coach, you'll be able to see their dev type instead of just their he's slow. I was looking at speed. I was looking at this recruit. But anyways, for me, at least my play style. But he's a pocket passer, so he'll be more of a pocket passer. That's why some throw power is decent and all that. Passing is decent. Goes back to what I said about scramblers being scramblers, pocket passers being pocket passers. You'll see this consistent across pocket passers. They'll all have decent accuracy. But anyways, when you're scouting, you'll be able to not just see their actual attributes, you'll be able to see their developmental traits as well, like how fast they develop. Recruiting battles. This is when you pull out all the stops. It's a dead sprint to the finish line. Do everything you can to push across the threshold before your rival does. Because once that new threshold is hit, that recruit is off the board. Basically, this is just goes back to what I was saying. You get in a heated recruiter battles with other teams now, and it makes it kind of a thing. Like, so see, he's down to 2 schools, and he's in a major recruiting battle with LSU and Arkansas. So, I just kind of just goes back to what I was saying earlier. To sway or not to know. To sway or not to sway. Sway is one of the most powerful tools in the recruiting arsenal, but is also one of the most misunderstood. In College Football 26, we made several improvements to make this feature clearer, more actionable, and easier to take advantage of. When your school doesn't fully align with the recruit's motivations, Sway is designed for those moments when your high school grades don't match up with the prospect's ideal pitch. When your my school grades don't match up with the high school prospect ideal pitch. Or when you want to expand what a recruit cares about to include another pitch that plays to your strength. A successful sway allows you to add a second ideal pitch, giving you more flexibility in how you engage with that recruit. In some cases, it can even unlock a third ideal pitch by creating additional overlaps. Dang, so sway, if you get sway right, seems like you're going to be able to get that recruit damn near. I like that. It's like oh, look, see. Success rate, high, medium, low. It has when you sway, when you pitch a recruit, it has a high success rate, medium, or low. And I'm assuming all 3 of these can get filled up for high. But if not, you still got a high success rate. Okay. Once a sway is successful, you'll see visual indicators both in the left recruiting board list and next to the specific motivations the recruit now cares about. These new markers make it easy to identify recruits you have successfully swayed. So basically, like last year, like when you try to sway somebody, and you get it or don't, it shows you which of their interests are. So their interest is playing style, playing time, pro potential, and they're not interested in anything else. This one has a little bit more interesting things. So they did a bunch of amplified stuff to the recruiting. I love it. like I said, I'm not gonna go over every single thing because that would take hours on end, and I haven't played the game, haven't had my hands on the game yet, so I don't want to give you guys, I don't want to say too much and then be wrong or be a little off about stuff. But let's keep going. Finally, we've added a set of advanced search filters to give you more ways to filter and search the prospect list to identify prospects who meet your needs or are potential targets for your team. You can now filter by max star rating, minimum pipeline level, recruiting stage. So you can just different ways to filter through the recruits. So I like. Player development is at the core of building a successful program, while talent acquisition is without question the most important thing in college football. Inability to develop your players will keep them from reaching their full potential and prevent you from realizing your dreams of winning a national championship. In College Football 26, we've rebalanced and expanded how progression works to create more player differentiation. I always say that word messed up like I did earlier. Realism and separation between programs. Living in the Iron Paradise. At times in College Football 25, players would go long stretches without progression only to suddenly take a big leap when they finally leveled up a skill group. In College Football 26, we have increased the number of skill group levels from 10 to 20, allowing for a more gradual and natural progression. A player's development trait also plays a big role in off-season progression. So basically, while there's still variability in how much a player develops during the off-season, players with impact, star, and elite development traits now have a higher minimum amount they will progress. So basically, you want these 3 developmental traits on your players when recruiting, and they'll develop the fastest. Impact, star, and elite. I'm assuming elite is the highest, and then star, then impact. This increases the likelihood that players with the better development trait will progress more than players with the normal trait. Every year we see freshmen arrive on campus and undergo significant physical changes during their first season. Now when your players hit the Iron Paradise and put in the work during the offseason, you will also see physical changes to their body. That's tough. So somebody can come in 6'1", a $190, hit the weight room, get the Iron Paradise. They might even grow a little bit. They're still young, 6'2", 210. But you actually see their body change, no diddy, on the field, which I think is so tough. So basically, like, if they get, that's natural. Like, they're young college kids, so they're putting their grind, they're working out heavy. It's natural to see their body, them get bigger and stronger. You know what I'm saying? Even as their attributes go up, it makes a lot of sense. Jeremiah Smith's a fucking 99. Let's go. OH. Let's go. Jeremiah Smith's a 99. I love to fucking see it. Well fucking deserved. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Jeremiah Smith in Columbus, Ohio at Heat Archive. I was buying these shoes right here. He was selling some Chrome Heart pants. He sold them for $6K. This shit was crazy. But he was nice as hell. Super nice guy. Tall as shit. No homo. Wide body. I fuck with him. He was nice as hell though. Super nice guy. From impact player to star, player performance during the season now plays a huge role in their long-term potential. If a player absolutely cooks during the season, they can now upgrade their developmental trait during off-season progression. That's tough. So basically, upgrading a developmental trait is not guaranteed, and the better a player's current trait is, the harder it becomes to move up. For example, moving up from normal to impact is more likely than jumping from star to elite. So basically, if he plays really good and he's just an impact developmental trait, he can actually go up to a star or elite, but it happens more often from normal to impact. That's tough because that makes sense. Like if somebody's taking steps somebody's doing really good on the field, their developmental trait should naturally go up. You can increase the odds of players upgrading their developmental trait by purchasing the Gains Getter ability with CEO archetype. If a player does upgrade their developmental trait, you'll receive a notification, and it'll be also highlighted in the training results screen. Dev trait upgrade to star. That's tough. I'm excited. I'm excited as fuck. Not even gonna lie. Speaking of training results, this screen has undergone a major overhaul to give you better visibility to the growth and progression of each player during the offseason. For each player, you can now see exactly how much each attribute increased. Additionally, the player module on the right-hand side displays their weight gain, any abilities that upgraded, and if their developmental trait upgraded. So this is a picture. So basically, see, he went up 7 overalls in the offseason. That's tough. And these are all one up. He went up 3 overalls, 1 plus speed, 1 plus excel. I like that a lot, man. That makes a lot of sense. You can see it. Manual progression. If you're looking for more direct control over how players develop, you can enable manual progression in league settings. Man, this is what it's like. Man, you can manually progress your player. Like, you don't have to wait for them to just progress and bucket fill up. You can actually manually do it. Like when they get certain skill points. See over here, Jeremiah Smith has these 4 skill points in the top right corner of the picture. You can actually pick where they go. So he has 8, 9 right here. You need 8 or 9. No, the rest are locked. But you can do this. These are physicals, but physical traits. But you can upgrade the physical traits. You can upgrade the ratings manually if you choose to put this on. It will be on in my league. So you can put where skill points each player. Basically, got a little excited. Basically, when your player progresses and you get skill points for the player, you can manually pick them up, put them in different buckets like elusiveness or passing. If it's a quarter, let's just go with a quarterback. You can put their elusiveness up first, or you can put their passing up first, instead of the computer dictating and picking how you want to upgrade your players. That's a major dub. Ryan Williams is a 97. Oh shit. But like I was saying, see, look, he got 55 skill points. You could really upgrade him damn near all the way. It takes 4 to purchase hands. So you want to put his catching up. His quickness is already maxed out. His elusiveness is already maxed out. You put his IQ up, his route running up, and you get to decide where you put it up. I love it. Position changes are a key part of building and evolving. I don't do position changes in my dynasty, but I think that's tough though. You can manage wear and tear and season health. See, injuries will be off on my line. I run an online dynasty. Injuries are off, but you can manage the wear and tear and customize it all the way down to the impact. Look right here. Wear and tear. You can wear and tear strategies, whether you want to sub it out, grind it out, but you're more likely to get injured if you do that. But here's the dynasty settings. Defender tackle advantage impact. So basically, like if it's a Ray Lewis hitting a Darren Sproles or a smaller Tyreek Hill will probably take more wear and tear because the defender tackle advantage. If you get sacked, you can customize your wear and tear down to the type of tackle, down to per play recovery, per timeout recovery, halftime recovery. It's sweet. Dynasty mode definitely has history back. So you can see who won the Natty last year. You can see who won most winningest coach. You can see who was the conference champion. You can see who won the Heisman. They didn't have this in college football 25. Major dubs. So you can look back and say, man, who won the Heisman 3 years ago in my 10-year dynasty? Who won the Heisman each year? Who won national championship each year? That's sweet. That's dope. They got player career stats. I love it. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so excited. Tie goes to the runner. College football 25, it could be different to understand how conference tiebreakers were resolved or why one team advanced over the other. This year we made a priority to bring clarity. Okay, so basically, in my online dynasties, computers would get in. I redid the conferences, redid the schedules and everything, and I still couldn't figure it out. Like a 4-12 Army was in the bowl game. 4-8 Army was in the bowl game one year, and I was like, man, what is going on? But so now this is it's clarified. Improve tiebreaker logic. First, we look at the head-to-head record between tie teams. Cool. If teams didn't play each other and the head-to-head doesn't resolve the tie, we check the team's record against common conference opponents. If they are still tied, we use a CPF ranking to determine placement. So step 1, head-to-head, record versus common. Let's just pretty much broke it down even more. I like that. So basically, it's more simplified. They're going to actually look. All right, so if you and another team are tied and you trying to see who gets the last bid to go into the college football playoffs, they look at your head-to-head record. So you say one's 11-1, one's 11-1, but you guys played each other, and this team won, then that means they would get in. But if you guys don't have any common opponents, if you guys didn't play each other, then they look at common conference opponents. If that doesn't happen, then they revert to the college football rankings to determine placement. So basically, who's ranked higher. I like that a lot, man. It makes a lot of sense. We've also added deeper stat tracking for both individual players and entire teams. The box score now displays the total number of plays and yards per play. We've also added new metrics within the season stats, career stats, and team stat screens, all accessible from Stats and Records tab. Quarterback touchdown percentage, number of, oh my goodness. So basically, they're breaking down the stats as much as possible, and I love it. Punters touchback percentage, running backs fumble rate, number of fumbles divided by the number of carries, like offense total yards per game, rushing yards per game, yards per play. Like, they've done so much update. They listen to it so much. I'm so grateful to. I'm not one to bash sports games, especially because that's all I play. But in this case, I gotta give a clap and a praise to EA because they did their fucking thing with this shit. Here's some new archetypes like wide receiver now features 7 unique archetypes wide receiver: speedster, route artist, physical route runner, elusive route runner, gritty possession, gadget receiver. What's gadget receiver? Gotta see that one. A do-it-all player who might take snaps at quarterback or running back, built for trick plays and misdirection. A receiver, a do-it-all player that might take snaps at quarterback or running back, built for trick plays and misdirection. So you got them receivers with the high passing. You might throw them back at quarterback. That is tough. That is tough. Contested specialist dominates tight coverage, high points the ball, and wins in jump ball scenarios. Formation subs is back. Everybody wanted formation subs. I think it's a major dub. Certain formations you want players to line up in certain places. I love it. Custom conferences and protected opponents. So basically, you can customize your conference, and you know when you customize your conference, you might move. Let's just say hypothetically, you move Ohio State out the Big Ten. Say they went to the SEC. You can still protect Ohio State versus Michigan rivalry by making Michigan a protected Ohio State opponent, like they have here. Ohio State's protected opponents: Michigan, Illinois. They have Michigan State's, Michigan and Penn State, Michigan's, Ohio State, Michigan State. Y'all think y'all get the gist. Scheduling updates. All known future season games, including kickoff games, have been added through 2040, ensuring that teams follow their actual schedules year over year. This includes updates to annual games like Florida versus Georgia, which will no longer be played in Jacksonville for the 26-27 seasons. So basically, they've updated the schedules each year in dynasty mode through 2040. 2040. What's that, 15 years? 16 years? Come on, man. That's tough. They really putting in the work, man. And I'm sure they did as best of their ability. I know that all the schedules aren't locked in, but all known future season games. All the games that are known about from this time to 2040 will be aligned with the dynasty schedules every year you progress. That's tough. College football playoff. The world of college football is ever changing in College Football 26. We are excited that you will have the opportunity to experience the new playoff format in dynasty before you experience it in real life. This offseason, the College Football Playoff has changed its format, so now the top 4 teams in the CFB rankings receive first-round buys. Previously, the buys were awarded to the 4 highest-ranking conference champions. So basically, the changes they did in real life are coming to the game before the season even starts. Tough. We've added a number of improvements that make it easy to navigate and manage access key information with your dynasty. Access key information. Quick access to player info. Anytime a player appears in the spreadsheet, you can now press triangle to open the player card R3 to view the stats and award history. That's tough. There's a little something you can click on. What's this? It's just the quick access stuff. That's tough. It's now crossplay. You can invite people from PS5 or Xbox, no matter what system you're on. See right here, crossplay. Pre-order bonus. All pre-orders of College Football 26 will receive a bonus of 100 coach points when you start a dynasty. This bonus applies to every dynasty you start. That's tough. So every dynasty you start, you'll get automatically 100 coach points. And is in addition to the 1,000 coach points you can earn over time through progression. So that's just tough. So every dynasty you start, you start off with extra 100 coach points if you pre-order the game. I think that's tough. And no matter how many dynasties you start, you still start with 100 coach points. It's a little advantage. These are dynamic time of day. So this is when the game started. This is towards the middle of the game or end of the game. You see the shade, dynamic lighting. See the shade coming that wasn't up here. That's tough. Sun setting. I like it. Broken records feedback. When a player on your team breaks a single game, season, or career record, you will now receive a full screen takeover celebrating the achievement. Definitely needed because I broke a lot of records with Jordan Washington for Washington, and I didn't really see any recognition or anything. It's nice to be recognized, man. When you working hard and grinding hard on the game, especially now they got trophy room back. That's tough. Coach's stats, force win update. When forcing a win or loss, it says the name of the team you are forcing a win. So so you no longer have to guess which team is home or away. Oh, that's tough. Instead of just saying, well, they're home. Basically, I do a lot of forced wins and forced losses in my league when people can't make it, when people don't, for whatever reason. So instead of saying home or away, forced loss home, forced loss away, it actually say forced win Ohio State or forced loss Michigan, some things like that. Advanced week confirmation, the confirmation pop up will now appear instead of because when you hit advanced week, it just advances it. Now a confirmation pop up, that's tough. Scouting ability, increased spreadsheet row count. Okay, team builder. Team builder is back and it looks like it's updated. That's tough. I didn't really use team builder last year, but I think that for the people that do, that looks tough. Got a lot of enhanced roster editing. Roster editing now lives in your own dedicated tab and has been enhanced with deeper customization designs to give you more control over each player on your team. One of the biggest feedback points we heard from the community that it was too difficult to access how good bad a player and team were when you were editing the roster. In College Football 26, you'll be able to see your team's overall offensive and defensive ratings at all times. I like that. These will update in real time as you make changes. When viewing an individual player, you'll be able to see the overall rating. Cool. Bio and appearance. Generic stating. This is still team builder stuff. You can make. Damn, they got a lot of stuff about team builder. Last stuff was about team builder. So overall, what I have to say is dynasty changes. Major dub. Like Jameis went corny, but it was funny. Major dub. I'm so excited. I'm so happy to get started with my online dynasty. But yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed. Hit that like button. Hit that noti bell. I'm doing a giveaway on July 7th for a YouTube subscriber. So make sure you're subscribed. $75 PSN or Xbox card so you can buy college football or do whatever you want with it. Just make sure you are subscribed. God bless y'all. And as always, welcome to the feast.